This man wants to take over the world with the help of giant locusts. However, the dinosaurs also get involved. Find out what happens next from the recap of the movie Jurassic World Dominion. Dinosaurs spread all over the world and began to live among humans. An encounter with them usually leads to very bad consequences. For example, some may attack a motorhome, others may destroy a fishing boat, or even ruin your wedding. Illegal dinosaur black markets are emerging all across the world. In order to fight against poachers, the US Congress allows Biosyn Genetics Corporation to catch dinosaurs and bring them to its own sanctuary in the Alps. The company conducts pharmaceutical research there. There is a rumor that a human has been cloned in the lab. It is Maisy Lockwood, daughter of the late Charlotte Lockwood, founder of the Jurassic Park. Maisy is claimed to have escaped, and no one knows where she is. Two women sneak into a dinosaur ranch in Nevada at night. They are Claire Daring, who used to work at Jurassic Park, and her colleague Zia Rodriguez. They gather video evidence of dinosaur mistreatment to shut down the ranch and send the dinosaurs to a better place. One little dinosaur is separated from other cubs. Zia realizes that it is sick and may not survive. Claire decides to help the baby and frees it. The dinosaur is taken to a van, in which their colleague Franklin is already waiting. The alarm goes off and security guards show up at the ranch. Claire starts the van and rushes away from the place at breakneck speed. But the guards start chasing them and even shoot at the van. Claire drives into an enclosed area where various dinosaurs live. The latter smash the guards' pickups, and the protagonists manage to escape. When the morning comes, they argue without knowing what to do next. Meanwhile, Claire's boyfriend Owen Grady and his friends on horseback are chasing a herd of Parasaurolophus, since hunting season has begun. One of the dinosaurs strays away from the herd. Owen catches up with it and throws a lasso around its neck. But the dinosaur falls down a slight slope, causing Owen to fall off his horse to the ground. The dinosaur gets to its feet and tries to run, but Owen ties it to a tree and calms it down. They slowly make their way back, but a poacher named Rain Delacourt and his accomplices show up on their way and take the dinosaur away. In the next scene, we observe a girl chopping wood. This is the very same Maisy Lockwood. On her way home, she rides through a timber yard when a huge Apathosaurus appears there. Maisy prompts the workers that it can be distracted by a bright light, and it works. Maisy arrives home. She lives with Claire and Owen in a small cabin in the mountains. Claire reminds the girl that she is wanted and asks her to be more careful. Maisy replies that she doesn't care since she is just a copy of a person. Owen comes home and kisses Claire gently. A velociraptor is keeping an eye on them. It turns out that this dinosaur is hiding something in an old bus. It's a cub. They are running through the snow-covered forest together and find a cute white rabbit. The little animal is immediately attacked by the other predator, and the baby dinosaur lunges at the predator who intends to take its lunch. Owen hears the dinosaur roar and looks anxiously towards the forest. At night, they all sit together by the fire and again berate Maisy for leaving home without permission. The main characters have no idea why they are being tracked. A couple of kids notice something strange on the farm in the morning. They are attacked by a swarm of huge locusts. Miraculously, the children manage to run away and lock themselves in a barn. These giant locusts appear in different places, destroying crops and threatening the world's food supply. Botanist Ellie Settler notices that the locusts don't eat crops grown by Biosyn seeds. Ellie suspects that Biosyn is breeding these locusts themselves, targeting their competition's crops. Ellie asks her former lover, Dr. Alan Grant, for help. After a jar of tea, he agrees to investigate Biosyn's illegal operation together. Alan examines one of the huge insects and says that such locusts may soon cause global starvation. Together, they head to the Biosyn sanctuary. At that time, a little velociraptor comes to Claire and Owen's cabin. Maisy notices it and gets scared at first, but then she treats the baby to a sandwich. Soon the dinosaur's mother shows up too. Her name is Blue. She's ready to attack at any moment, yet she decides to run away. Owen follows the dinosaur, and Maisy wants to join him. Yet the foster father forbids her to do so. The resentful girl grabs her bicycle and leaves for town. Blue offers her baby a fox for lunch, but at that moment it gets caught up in a trap left by the poachers. Blue screams furiously as she is immediately hit by a car. Owen sees the poachers taking the little dinosaur away, but there is nothing he can do. A strange woman stops Maisy on the bridge, and a car with poachers appears behind the girl's back. Owen witnesses his adopted daughter being kidnapped. He runs home and takes a gun. However, furious Blue is standing right outside the cabin. No wonder, her cub has just been kidnapped. Owen barely manages to calm her down. Claire calls Franklin and begs him for help. Her friend reveals that the man who's kidnapped Maisy and the Dinosaur is Rain Delacour, a terrible bastard. Fortunately, they've infiltrated his gang with an agent and can track their illegal activities. Ellie and Alan arrive at the Biosyn sanctuary. They are told about the 20 species of dinosaur who live there and are introduced to the head of the corporation, Louis Dodgson. The man brags that they've almost studied the dinosaur genome. Soon a lecture by Ian Malcolm, an expert on chaos theory, begins. Apparently, he considers genetic engineering to be a rather dangerous science. After the lecture, Malcolm approaches Ellie and Alan and asks for their help in exposing Biosyn's illegal activities. It turns out that geneticist Henry Wu, who has just joined Biosyn, was commissioned by Dodgson to create a giant locust. The insect immediately began eating everything, which allowed Biosyn to become a leader in the agricultural seed market since the products were the only ones locusts didn't eat. Except that the insects proved to be too resilient, and the world now faces a real threat of starvation. Using their contacts in the government, Claire and Owen find out that Maisy and Blue's baby are in Malta. Biosyn agents transport the girl and the dinosaur in 2 different cars. A blonde woman with an angry face is in one of them, and a curly dark-skinned woman in the other. This is Kyla Watts, the pilot of the cargo plane that delivers dinosaurs across the world. In order to figure out what's going on here, Claire and Owen sneak into the dinosaur black market. Trade is in full swing here. Claire meets the same dark-skinned woman Kyla in the bathrooms and show her a photo of Maisy. However, Kyla lies that she has never seen the girl before. A poacher Delacour shows up at the market. He is greeted by a blonde from Biosyn named Santos, who asks him to deliver one more cargo, Atrociraptors. These are extremely dangerous dinosaurs that attack any target marked with a laser. As the money is being transferred, local authorities show up to arrest the poachers. A firefight ensues. Delacour attempts to escape. Owen chases him. The authorities try to stop the truck loaded with dangerous dinosaurs. Owen catches up with Delacour, and a fight breaks out between them. The scene takes place in a complete chaos with a bunch of different dinosaurs around. 2 of them bite the poacher's arm before a huge angry dinosaur appears. And we hear Delacour's bones crunch. Blondie Santos orders to release huge Atrociraptors from the truck and point a laser beam at the target. People scatter in different directions, and the predators chase after them. Claire finds Santos, and a fight ensues between them as well. Claire defeats her rival and learns that Maisy is already being taken to a Biosyn lab. The dinosaur appears in the room, and Santos points a laser beam at Claire. Fleeing from the predator, the woman has to jump out of a window and then run across the rooftop. At one point, she hangs from the balcony and falls into a truck. Kyla notices it and does her best to get the woman away from the furious dinosaur. Owen and his colleague also manage to save themselves and trap the predator in a cage. Moreover, they manage to arrest the cunning Santos. However, the blonde points her laser beam at Owen once again, and a fierce dinosaur keeps chasing him. Luckily, the motorcycle proves to be faster. Kyla and Claire run to the cargo plane, lower the ramp, and Owen rides in at full speed. Unfortunately, one of the dinosaurs jumps in behind the man. With a little luck, the predator flies away with the motorcycle. Claire gives Owen a gentle hug. Kyla agrees to take them straight to the Alps to the Biosyn headquarters. In the meantime, Biosyn employee Ramsey Cole takes Ellie and Alan on a tour across the lab and brags about the achievements of the corporation. Left alone, the protagonists immediately decide to sneak into the underground level. That's where geneticist Henry Wu is already working with both Maisy and Blue's baby. The girl gives the little dinosaur the name Beta. The peculiarity of this cub is that he was born without the involvement of a male. That's possible because Blue has the DNA of a monitor lizard, which gives her the capability of asexual reproduction. Henry Wu explains to the girl why she is important to them. Charlotte Lockwood desperately wanted to have a child and used her own DNA to create Maisy. She died of a genetic disease, but managed to alter her daughter's DNA to prevent her from inheriting this fatal illness. The geneticist plans to use Maisy and Beta's DNA to stop the invasion of the giant locusts. Except Maisy doesn't want to be a guinea pig. She releases Beta and tries to escape. Ellie and Alan put on Biosyn's uniform and sneak into the lower levels of the lab to steal the sample of the locusts, but they are attacked by a whole swarm of aggressive insects. They miraculously manage to escape. This is when Maisy shows up. All three realize that they need to get out of there as soon as possible. Ramsey Cole finds them in one of the corridors and tells them that he is also on their side. The man shows our heroes the way to the capsule that will take them to the plane. Kyla's cargo plane enters Biosyn airspace, and Dodgson orders his employees to disable the air defense systems. At the same moment, a huge flying dinosaur attacks the plane. It begins to burn and fall. Unfortunately, there is only one catapult and 3 people on board. Claire ejects, and the dinosaur tears her parachute in flight as she lands in a dense forest. While trying to unbuckle her belt, the woman spots a large blind dinosaur. It doesn't see Claire and walks by. Hearing the deer's footsteps, the dinosaur approaches it and attacks the prey with its large claws. Claire unbuckles the seatbelt and falls to the ground, slowly approaching the swamp. Then she dives under the water and swims away. Failing to find its prey, the enraged dinosaur walks away. After getting out of the swamp, Claire notices smoke from Kyla's plane and assumes they are dead. But Owen and Kyla manage to survive an emergency landing on an ice-covered lake. They get out of the plane and slowly walk to the nearest elevator, when they suddenly spot a dinosaur with red feathers. It's a Pyroraptor. Owen and Kyla attempt to run away, but the man falls under thin ice. The dinosaur notices it and swims towards Owen, trying to catch him, but Kyla gives him a hand to get from under the ice. The predator jumps out of the water and growls loudly. Owen and Kyla reach the elevator and leave the roof of the building. The woman shows a gadget that might help them track Claire's location. Along the way, they witness a fight between 2 huge dinosaurs over a deer. Ellie, Alan and Maisy find themselves in an old ember mine. They are spotted on surveillance cameras, and Dodgson immediately fires Malcolm and Cole for treason. The 2 men rush to rescue their friends. Ellie, Alan and Maisy encounter Dimetrodons on their way, but Malcolm manages to save the group from the furious dinosaurs. Later that night, Claire reaches the observation tower. A Dilophosaurus attacks her in there. Luckily, Owen and Kyla appear in time to stun it with an electric baton. Dodgson ignites a locust breeding factory. The burning insects break free, engulfing the entire lab and the headquarters in flames. A fiery cloud of locusts moves through the park. The car with Ellie, Alan and Maisy goes off a cliff and flips over several times. Needless to say, everyone survives. Moreover, they also meet Owen and Claire. Finally, the main characters are reunited, but it's too soon to rejoice. Before long, a huge dinosaur appears. People hide from it behind the car, and then climb up a high ladder. Malcolm manages to torch the jaws of the predator, while the others are looking for weapons to use against the dinosaur. The main characters plan to turn on the air defense systems and fly away in one of the Biosyn planes. In addition, they need to find and save Beta. Dodgson tries to escape with the dinosaur embryos on the monorail. The protagonists cut the power, so the man remains trapped in the tunnel and falls prey to 3 Dilophosauruses. Maisy and Owen find Beta and sedate her with a dart. In the meantime, Claire and Ellie fight off the locusts. Together, they manage to activate the aerial deterrent system. They take the geneticist's Wu with them, as he claims to be the only person to know how to stop the locusts. Everyone rushes to the plane, but the same giant dinosaur shows up again, and it's not alone. Several more predators approach from the other side. A real battle for survival ensues between them. Seizing the moment, the protagonists flee the park in a corporate jet. Former employees testify against Biosyn. Returning to the mainland, Wu releases a modified locust with the pathogen discovered by studying Maisy and Beta's DNA. It helps to stop the locusts from spreading. Owen, Claire and Maisy return home, where Beta is reunited with her mother Blue. The UN declares Biosyn Sanctuary a national park to preserve dinosaurs. Ancient predators are getting used to living next to modern animals all across the world, and it looks like they are succeeding. Would you like to live alongside dinosaurs? You've been watching the Movie Cat channel. I'll see you later.